Now, when I first laid eyes on the Arizona Diamondback City Connect uniforms, it had a deep and profound effect on me personally. When I saw it on Instagram, I immediately fell asleep. Greetings, baseball fans, and welcome to the Suicide Squeeze Baseball Show here on the Fireball Review channel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a wise man once stated, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. Well, I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to his way of thinking. I mean, by my calculations, the best uniforms in all of Major League Baseball are the Padres, the Mets, the Pirates, and the Astros. And if you take away that dubious title America's team won back in 2017, it's not as if all these teams have multiple banners hanging at their stadiums over the past 4 or 5 decades. But be that as it may, baseball has released 12 of the 30 City Connect uniforms. Now, I don't know what the hell the delay is on this situation. I think baseball put the Department of Motor Vehicles in charge of releasing these uniforms, because by the time we get the last batch of uniforms, they're finally released to the general public, I think we're all going to be dead by that point in time. But beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder, and I thought, what the hell? I'm somewhat of a fashionista. I like to pride myself on being a fashion connoisseur.
That's right! Fashion genius!
So I thought, why not rank the 12 uniforms that have been released to this point in time? So let's go. So somewhere in between the 24/7 LeBron James talk that goes on over at ESPN, somebody decided to take the initiative and rank these 12 uniforms themselves, and they said that my number 12 uniform on my list is a fashion-forward look for Major League Baseball. Well, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If this is a fashion-forward look, I'm totally fine with staying buried in the past with my teddy bear under a bed and never coming out again, because the Washington Nationals totally wet the bed and missed the mark on this whole project. They have these uniforms. They're like these light gray uniforms with these little pink flowers. I'm told they're cherry blossoms. I don't know why cherry blossoms are pink, but they're pink, and pink just doesn't work. For a men's sports team, pink just is not a good look. It's not intimidating in any way, shape, or form. There's one city that, if done right, can pull off a pink look, and Washington, D.C., you are not that city. If your great Aunt Edna or your great Aunt Harriet had to sew together a uniform for some unexplainable reason for their weekly bunco game, this would be the byproduct of their efforts. This Washington Nationals uniforms, it would look exactly like this. I know I'm going to get some blowback here. A lot of people like these uniforms for some reason, but I got news for you. A lot of people think it's okay to wear Crocs to formal events, or anywhere for that matter. A lot of people think it's okay to wear sweatpants outside of their bedroom. A lot of men still think it's okay to wear skinny jeans. Now, when I first laid eyes on the Arizona Diamondback City Connect uniforms, it had a deep and profound effect on me personally. When I saw it on Instagram, I immediately fell asleep. I've tried sleep aids throughout the world. I've had insomnia problems. Anybody else that has insomnia, you just look at this uniform and you will immediately fall asleep, because this is one of the most bland, plain uniforms I've ever seen in my life. You have a very easy job, Diamondbacks. You have one of the most intimidating, menacing mascots ever. You have the snake. Everyone is afraid of the snake. All you gotta do is put a snake head on the left or right chest of the uniform. You put the snake head on top of the hat, just kind of right in the center here. You maybe black it all out, have all black uniforms, or maybe like a dark green or something of that nature, and you're done. That's all you got to do, and you screwed the whole thing up. Well, in any event, the Diamondbacks did decide to go with this desert color, though. They went with this Spanish lettering for snakes across the chest. I don't know, any language you put that in, it's going to be intimidating. Again, everybody's afraid of snakes. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that in Spanish. I'll just completely botch it. But they went with the desert color, the sand color with the jersey and the hat. It's just so bland. There's just nothing else really you can say about this one. It comes in number 11 for me.
How about new?
Now, coming in the 10th spot is the San Francisco Giants, and if you've ever been to the city of San Francisco, you will know that the fog is a very constant presence in that city. And that can be a very scary situation, because when that fog lifts, you will see all the people there peeing on the streets of the city. And I'm not even talking about the homeless. I'm talking about the city officials. I've seen Apple executives doing it. It is a common pastime in that city, but be that as it may, the fog is a very prominent thing, so the Giants decided to do something bold with these uniforms, and they put the fog on the jerseys, and it just didn't quite work. I can appreciate the boldness of it, but it looks like a mother was changing her child on the back of this jersey right here, and she spilt some baby powder all over the bottom of the numbers right there. It just doesn't quite work. Third and final issue I have with these ones is the giant Golden Gate Bridge logo on the side of the hat. I hate big logos on the side of hats. It looks very cheap. It looks like those knockoff hats that you see in the convenience stores for like $5. Then they doubled down on the big logo and had it printed on the side of the jersey. Don't print stuff on jerseys. Just give me a detailed patch of the Golden Gate Bridge on the sleeve. Make the jerseys head to toe black. Jersey black, pants black. You could go San Francisco and orange across the chest area. And I know people will say, oh my God, it's too hot for the summertime. You've obviously never been to San Francisco if you believe that, because if you go to a night game in San Francisco, it is one of the coldest experiences of your life. It doesn't matter that it's the summertime, you will freeze your ass off. I went to a game one time, I almost had hypothermia when I left this place. Hey, Red Sox, the UCLA Bruins called, they want their colors back. Coming in the number 9 spot is the Boston Red Sox. Now look, I can appreciate that the Red Sox wanted to honor the Boston Marathon, which is like the Super Bowl of marathon running. I used to be a marathon runner. I was never good enough to qualify for the Boston Marathon. I can appreciate they wanted to honor that very special event in their city by using these colors, which are the colors of the Boston Marathon. If you see the banners and the t-shirts, they are usually blue and yellow. But this is just a very bizarre choice by the Red Sox. Nobody cares about marathon running, unfortunately. I'm sure there's a lot of Red Sox fans even that were scratching their head when they chose this color combination. The jersey looks like they look like a giant banana in these jerseys. If you're going to go blue and yellow, at least go blue with the jersey. Yellow is a good color, but it's got to be used very sporadically. You can't use yellow as the dominant color in anything. This is common knowledge in the fashion community. Coming in the number 8 spot is the Los Angeles Dodgers, and far be it from me as a certified Dodger hater to throw these guys a life raft, but I'm going to do it here because the Dodgers have been thoroughly criticized as the worst City Connect uniforms of the bunch, and I would vehemently disagree with that. I love the head-to-toe blue that the Dodgers have instituted here. This is what the Giants should have done. They should have done head-to-toe black. The Dodgers decided to do the blue. I like it a great deal. However, my one complaint, and the reason why these uniforms are not in the top 5 is they went the nickname route. And I don't care if you go the nickname route in English, Spanish, or Spanglish, which is what the Dodgers have elected to do here. It doesn't look good. And they did it on the jersey and on the hat. Very cheap. Doesn't look good at all. Just give me Los Angeles across the jersey, and then give me the old school Dodger logo that is very underutilized, if you ask me. It's probably the best logo they have. Put that logo on the hat, and you have something extraordinary. I actually like the colors of these uniforms way better than what the Dodgers usually trot out there. Everyone always says the Dodgers have the best uniforms, they're traditional, they're classy. Let me tell you something, the Dodgers have the exact same uniforms as the Kansas City Royals. So if you think the Dodgers' regular uniforms are the best, if they're number 1, the Royals should be number 2 because they're the exact same thing. Am I the only one that notices this?
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Now, earlier in this video, I eviscerated the Washington Nationals for putting pink in their uniforms, and I stated that there was one city on planet Earth that could have a men's professional sports team that could pull off the pink look and still look cool doing it. And that one city is the beautiful city of Miami, Florida. And it brings me to my number 7 pick, the Miami Marlins. Now, as you can see, the Marlins did not go with the pink option. They went with a red-blue combo. Apparently, these uniforms are based off of an amateur team that played down in Cuba called the Sugar Canes. This is a sharp look. I like the red jerseys. They kind of look like a backwards candy cane with the stripes going down them. I don't know about the white pants, but I like the hat a lot. I love that blue color. It's almost like a powder or a sky blue. They got the double M logo on the hat for Miami Marlins. They got like a crown, like a king's crown on there. It's like some sort of a Burger King callback of some sort of something. I have no clue. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't go with the alternate uniforms that the Miami Heat basketball team use. I am not a fan of the NBA at all, but I really like these uniforms that the Heat had. It's kind of like a Miami Vice type of look. They got the black with the hot pink across. I would have liked to have seen the baseball version of this, but they decided to go this route instead. Kind of a missed opportunity if you had asked me. But coming in the 6th spot and just missing out in the top 5 of the Chicago Cubs. Now, color combinations, ladies and gentlemen, don't get much better than this. That dark blue with the powder blue as a secondary color. I absolutely love these colors. They kind of remind you of the Tennessee Titans or old Houston Oilers NFL uniforms. It is a solid look. But the reason the Cubbies did not get into the top 5, or even top 3 for that matter, is they went the stupid nickname route. You know by now, watching this video, I hate nicknames. Ditch Wrigleyville, just give me Chicago across the chest in a powder blue, and you have a term in the fashion industry that all the experts like to use. It's fabulous. So now we're going to take the L train to the south side of Chicago for our number 5 entry, and it is the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox have decided to go black, head to toe. Black hat, black jersey, black pants. I love it a great deal. I love the color black. I think I was a goth in a previous life. Obviously, my only gripe with these ones is the south side across the chest. Change it to Chicago across the chestal region, and maybe change the hat up a little bit. Go retro style with the hat. Give me socks on the hat in black, very similar to the hat they wear on Sundays that is red, white, and blue. Now you'd have a black version. Obviously, these uniforms would be very hot in the middle of the summertime. This would be the equivalent to playing a baseball game on the surface of Mercury. Now, heading out to the West Coast for the number 4 team on my list, and it is my favorite team, the Angels. Now, if I had about $1 billion or $2 billion or whatever it is to buy a baseball team, and I own my favorite team, I would have these guys playing in these uniforms right here. These would be the City Connect uniforms I would pick for these guys as punishment for their disastrous deeds on the field over the past 4 or 5 weeks. In any event, these are the threads the Angels decide to go with. And I gotta be honest with you, it's not a bad look. I was kind of lukewarm to them at first. When I saw them on the field, I thought these are pretty nice actually. I like the cream color against the red. It's a very classy look. I actually like these uniforms better than what the Angels normally wear. I think the Angels have probably some of the worst uniforms in baseball. They didn't go the nickname route. Thank God for that. God only knows what nickname they would have chosen too. I don't even want to think about that. But the hat I have a problem with. I love the colors. I love the white panel. I love the red on the back. But that A logo needs to be put on a diet. That is a very fat A. Now, coming in the 4A position and screwing up my entire video is the Milwaukee Brewers. Wouldn't you know it, I filmed half of this video, and then right before I'm to film the other half, the Brewers released their uniforms. But at least it's a solid uniform. I love the colors of this. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the Brew Crew across the chest. Just give me Milwaukee there. Or even change the logo. They put this logo on the hat. Maybe put that on the jersey, and then just give me the MB Glove logo on the hat. The Brewers should never wear anything other than the MB Glove logo on their hats now till the end of time. If Armageddon happens 100 years from now and the Brewers happen to be playing a game at that point in time, they should have that MB logo when the world comes to an end. Now, coming in the 3 position is the Colorado Rockies. The first time I saw these uniforms, I thought, that's a little bit much. I don't know quite how I feel about those. Then I saw them later in the day, and I thought, those are pretty damn badass if you ask me. These kind of look like a beer can from the 90s or a NASCAR stock car from the 90s with the mountains across, and then you got the white on the top. And it really brings out the mountains having that white on the top. Normally, I hate this color green, this like dark color green, but this works. This is the This is the greatest Colorado Rockies uniform in the history of the franchise. I love the fact that they went Colorado across the chest. Kudos to you. And now in the 2 spot, it's a team you know, it's a team you love, it's a team you hate. Okay, most of you hate them, but they are America's team. They are the Houston Astros. Say what you want about the Astros, but they have some of the greatest uniforms in the history of baseball, in the history of sports. I mean, going back to those Tequila Sunrise uniforms that they should bring back, that they wore back in the 70s and 80s. But these new uniforms, these City Connect uniforms, are a solid entry. These uniforms would have been number 1 for me had they not gone with the Space City across the chest. Why go with the Space City? We know you guys play where NASA is. But the 2 things I love most about these uniforms, other than the head-to-toe one-color look, I love the fire numbers. They did like a fire color with the numbers. Look at this channel is called the Fireball Review. Of course I'm going to love that. Then the thing, and I can't even explain why I love this. I just love the numbers on the pants. On the upper part of the pants. That works. I think every team should have to have the numbers on the pants. I can't even explain why I like it. I just like it. Now the number 1 City Connect uniforms. Are you guys ready? You guys don't look ready. You ready? You sure? Okay. The number 1 uniform to this point, after 13 uniforms have been released, is the Kansas City Royals. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest Royals uniform ever produced. I don't think there should even be a debate at this point. Not even the powder blues of the 80s were as great as these. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was a child back in the 1800s, we didn't have the internet in the capacity that we have it today. We didn't have MLB TV back then. So if you wanted to see an out-of-market team, you couldn't watch them. All you could do was see the highlights on SportsCenter at the end of the night, and I would stay up late to watch Kansas City Royals home highlight games. It was only the home games were the only thing I was interested in because it meant that SportsCenter would show the fountains in the outfield. I was absolutely fascinated by the fountains in the Kansas City outfield, and the Royals have done something spectacular with these uniforms. They've incorporated the fountains onto the logo. And I alluded to this a little bit earlier with my Cubbies review, that dark blue against the powder blue is one of the greatest color combos in the history of fashion, and it totally works on these Royals uniforms, especially when you got the light blue sleeves like Bobby Witt Jr.'s got going here. That absolutely looks incredible. The only criticism I would say, and I wouldn't even say it's a criticism, it would just be interesting to see how it would look if they went with dark pants with these. Had they gone just dark blue head to toe, it would have been very hot. It would have been a little bit bolder, but maybe they wanted to go with a little bit more of a classy look, so they decided to go with the white pants. I wish they would make these the permanent threads, if you ask me. I think they're much better than what they normally wear, those Dodger knockoff uniforms. They got to get rid of those things. They're horrendous. But now I want to hear from my fashion critics out there. Let me know down in the comments below, which is your favorite City Connect uniform? And this is the question of the day. It's very important. Who is your favorite fashion designer? I've always been more of a polo man myself, but maybe you're a Gucci man or a Gucci lady. Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, hit that dislike button if you like this video. Otherwise, see you next time. Toodles.